Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hope Makola and I'm so pleased to have you guys tuning in. I'm just going to do a video, my first video ever after so long, and just wanting to get started would be just an introduction about who I am, where I come from, what are my passions, and just in a nutshell, the four pillars that always I describe myself when it comes to my passion is I'm a very hardworking entrepreneur. I'm a proud mother of two amazing, beautiful daughters. I am a very spiritual being. I place God at the center and at the top of everything I do. And fourthly, I am so hella mad crazy about my afro hair and anything that's got to do with natural afro hair inspired tutorials. And fifth, I love my husband dearly, and he's my rock, he's my best friend, he's my support system and my biggest cheerleader basically. So I own a company called Hopeful Interiors, and we started in 2010, but the company was registered in 2009 and fully started trading and picking up in about 2013. 2010 was a transition. It was kind of like me working on Hopeful more after hours as a side hustle, as a side business, where I was just doing my best to get clients while I was in a full-time job. So what I want to do with this channel is basically split my passions and things that I want to discuss into. So Mondays, I would post videos about my business journey, business tutorials, how to start your own business, how to ditch the mentality of focusing only on one passion or only one niche. I strongly believe that gone are the days where we just need to focus on one business. As individuals, we have different passions and likes. I mean, I also love acting, I love reading, I love traveling, I love blogging. So why must we all just be boxed and bottled into one specific thing? So the Monday side would be discussing business side of my life, or business tips and entrepreneur hustling grooves, I like to call it. And then Fridays, I just do your Freestyle Friday, and there we just chat about hair tutorials, the products I use, my natural hair journey, where I started, the challenges, my hair routine, and talk about travel, talk about books, post like little book club books that I'm reading. So it will differ, but I think that would be the best way that I would be able to keep the channel to just basically cover a variety of viewers, because I find it so hard when a lot of I've watched a lot of YouTubers that kind of like say they prefer to rather focus on one thing and break it down, which is basically, yes, my core is Hopeful Interiors and what we do at Hopeful, but I just believe that we have different facets as human beings, and I want to cover that on the channel. So how I'd hone into my niche is to break it up in different days. Going further, when I start getting better with my editing, when I start getting better with content, I would then start posting frequently and have videos for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But for now, we're just going to keep it to Business Monday and Freestyle Fridays. So another thing that I just wanted to share with a bit of my background and my where my love for being an entrepreneur started was in grade 8. At the tender age of 13, I decided to start my own business in selling chocolate coated Mari biscuits at school. Shout out to Norcombe Park High School. And you guys know, those that were in school with me on those years would know how amazingly yummy those chocolate coated Mari biscuits were. And I used to sell them for 50 cents each at the time. I was really, really touched and humbled at how it, from a young age, I was just driven. You know, I'd learn how to do the costings. I'd learn how to source the best suppliers for my chocolate and biscuits. I learned how to do a little spreadsheet of my debits and credits, and learned how to open a bank account at that age and save up my profits and work on how to diversify the business and doing different flavors, and started actually getting so busy that I decided to take orders, and I wouldn't be just selling offhand at lunchtime. I'd literally be sold out by in the morning because I'd already have pre-packed orders from the previous day, because my clients would always get so angry that by the time first break starts, I'm all out of biscuits. So they'd say, no, look, we want to place our orders in advance. And it's those little things that actually started honing my love for business. And then a little story that I'd also like to share, twofold. Basically, the first was my mom has always been an entrepreneur. She runs her own school as we even speak. It's a dressmaking and designing school. She teaches women from disadvantaged backgrounds how to design and sew clothing, from curtains to bed covers, scatter cushions, dresses, jackets, so that they can be self-sufficient, you know, and be providers in their own communities. She's fully registered with a CETA, and I know it sounds like I'm advertising my mom here, but she shaped and inspired me. So the basis of who I am as an entrepreneur and a female in business really stems from her. So she does that, and from Monday to Friday, like I said, and at the end of the year they'd get certificates from the CETA credited, and they can go on to teach other people how to dressmake and design in their own communities, and also make a business out of it, you know. So from then on, the hunger just grew and grew and grew. And then the story basically of my dad having worked at a huge marketing company. I'm not going to mention their name, but it's one of the 5th biggest marketing and product company in the world. And he was working for them at the time for 23 years. There was a job offer that posting that had gone up internally for the head of HR at the said company. My dad applied for it. He was never even interviewed, but he did apply internally. They did advertise the job internally. And the next day he went to work and he was told that he's got a new boss that he's reporting to. And this boss was in his 20s, just come out of varsity, and he was the son to the MD of this said company. And that boy had basically gotten my dad's job. Obviously at this time, knowing the history of our country under apartheid and how affirmative action was never practiced, and he lost out on that. He came back home very disappointed, and I asked him, I was like, what happened? And he relayed the story. And again, I just vowed from that day that I will never work for anybody. I don't want to report to anybody who can take a position that I deserve, who can take my ideas and make them their own. I just decided that no, I just want to be an entrepreneur. I want to provide for my family. I want to be the boss of my own time and my own resources. And fast forward to a lot of things that then transpired, I decided to register Hopeful Interiors in 2009. At the time, I was fully employed at an exhibition company. So Hopeful Interiors was my side hustle, you know. I then decided to get clients and do side jobs on the weekend, or even, you know, when I could get the time after hours, I would cold call. That is a lot of the other stuff that I will discuss on Business Monday. You need to be selling. You need to sell your heart out in order for you to be a successful entrepreneur. If you are not prepared to sell it, then don't even begin to think of it or starting your own business. So in 2011, the company that I was then working for started doing a bit bad financially. They started paying us late. They retrenched a few people, and I could foresee that my head was the next on the chopping block. So I then decided to approach my boss. I was very frank. I was very honest. I said, look, your company is not doing great right now. And I've started my own company on the side. And I have acquired 2 huge accounts with government. And at the time, it was Joburg Market and Rand Water. I please need you to be my supplier. I will get off your payroll because you can't afford paying me anymore. And I will still bring the business to you. At the time, I had approached a few of my clients that I'd found under this company. And I said, look, if I had to start a company, would you guys be able to come on board with me? You know the quality of service and how passionate I am about you as clients and giving you the best service. And they said yes. And that's how the 2 clients even committed. I then approached my boss at the time, and he was happy with that setup. So basically, he was my supplier and used all of these resources, and I could run my business within his business. And I was invoicing under my company. They would invoice me as my supplier on a 30-day account, and business was perfect. 2011, 12, and 13, in the 3rd year of business, it just started getting difficult. Government clients were not paying me on time, and I promise you, Hopeful Interiors was really close to shutting down its doors. But we ended up diversifying and found ourselves on the Hopeful Property Group. So currently we do specialize in rental and sales of properties, and those are things I'll discuss further in my business forums on Mondays. But that, in a nutshell, is who I am, who Hope Makola is. And I'd love to get you on this journey of mine. And I know that there's friends and families that have been asking me to start my own YouTube channel. Please, please, to you all, subscribe and just follow my channel, follow my journey. It really doesn't hurt. It really doesn't take long to subscribe. And you really would be helping a sister out. I would grow my YouTube footprint. So thank you so much. May you all have a blessed week. Keep sanitized, keep safe in this lockdown, and may God bless you till then. Ciao.